Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the House of Nerd Show. We're here with you today with a special. We've got a discussion, an interview with horror masters Kiyarn Taghan and Christian DiBari of Tales Told in Technihorror fame and their latest book as well, Provenance of Secrets. We're gonna bring them on in just a second. Ruben, Elle, how you guys doing, man? You guys hype?
Hyped.
Hype, hype.
Very excited.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Man,
You can
that
tell?
that
Or I can
smile
hear
is
it.
radiating through
Yeah,
your.
it's ear to ear.
So we're excited, man. We got two of the the hottest, the best horror creatives in the game right now, man. We're gonna talk about their fantastic works. Um, we've been talking about their books on the House of Nerd Show for some time, so this is a special one for us. I think let's not waste any more time. Let's bring them right in here. Let's add him. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey,
How's it
what's
going?
going
Welcome
on?
to the House of
Hello.
Nerd.
Thank you for having us.
Hello. I think there's a bit of a delay on my camera, but we can work through that.
We're gonna make it work. Absolutely. Kiyarn, you're coming all the way from
Yeah.
from the UK, correct?
Indeed, yeah. At 1:45 in the morning. Just
Look at
for
that.
you guys, especially.
We love it. And Christian, you're local, stateside?
I'm in NYC. Yeah,
Oh, NYC. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I'm uptown Manhattan. So if you hear some music, people cursing, screaming, I'm sorry. That's just it. It's just how it goes here.
Hey, I dig it. I'm from Toronto, big city as well. So I love I know all about the sights and the sounds of metropolitan area. So
Yeah, no, we lived here a very long time, and I'm just kind of used to it. But it's funny when like any visitors from like anywhere else come. Like I've had friends from Australia, New Zealand, you name it, like come stay with us, and they're like, "Wow, it's really loud out there." And I was like, "Is it? Oh, all right." I mean, that's just normal to me, but everyone else kind of gets a little jumpy with it. So yeah,
I get it. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out, man. We big fans of your guys' works, Tales Told in Techno Horror, Provenance of Secrets, most recently. So we're excited to have you guys on. Can you tell us a little bit about yourselves, who you are, what you do? Do you guys like long walks on the beaches? You know, your astrological signs, all that good stuff for those who may be unfamiliar with you gents.
Karen, you go.
Yeah, basically just I think all things started when we did Provenance of Madness. That was when I was just like, we're gonna just do these kind of horror comics because Christian and Simon have obviously been doing it for quite a while already and stuff. So I was just thinking, I've got this idea, and then Black Caravan were kind enough to take us on board, and then it's just sort of gone from there, really. So now Provenance of Secrets, Technihorror, it was just pushing those sort of. I love those all the old school like EC comics, where every sort of story is like a different genre and a different kind of theme and stuff. And we just kind of modernized that, and that's what I kind of like the idea of doing. And Christian's artwork obviously suits that down to the ground. So yeah,
Mhm.
and that's literally kind of what it is. Just not that long, and not as long as Christian's though.
Oh well, I'm just old. I mean, I don't know. Like, give you a real much briefer version of my background. I look at it as I had a false start in the very late '90s in comics, and yeah, I got hired by both Marvel and DC within about a month, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It was like both did the same thing. Both were like, we need, it was a rush job. So like, we need this right away. Like,
Yeah.
Marvel brought me in to do 11 pages, half an issue of Deadpool issue 34, and
no
I
way.
had 5 days to do it. And it was like in itself, it was like a horror movie because it was just like the panic and not sleeping, not eating, and trying to get it all done. And I get it all done, and I'm thinking, this is it. Now they're gonna give me something else, and it's gonna be great. And they're just like, nope, and it's like, oh, all right. But then I got something from DC who was much better. Again, it was a somewhat of a rush. They wanted me to do a cover, and I did it. But similar thing. They did give me one other thing later. It was like a 1 or 2 pager Secret Files thing or some such. But I just didn't really care to stick around much. So I kind of went off and did animation, storyboards, toy design. I mean, all kinds of different shit for years. And when I came back, I wanted to just do horror comics. And, I've been pretty much been doing that independently since like 2005. But when I teamed up with Karen and Simon, it was like, for me, it was like, this is the shit I've always wanted to do. There's a huge difference where someone will come to me and say, oh, I have this pitch. And it's always something that's like, zombies versus ninjas or something like that. You know what I mean? It's always this, I don't know. For me, it was always something that was just very silly or something I couldn't really get myself into.
Mm-hmm.
And either I just not do it, or if I did the pitch, it never went anywhere. With Karen, right away was like the Lovecraft thing was just like, it definitely was like, okay, this is really cool, really enjoying doing this. But then it was like, once COVID, everything got like locked down, it was like, that's when we really came together, just said, let's just tell a bunch of short stories that are just crazy, like a lot of crazy different types of short horror stories, and each one different, and experimental, and just very maybe somewhat off key, maybe not so commercial, I guess. But every single one I love doing. I don't think I've ever said to Karen, I don't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I've ever come. I don't know about this. This one, like, each one has such a different, different flavor, in different tone. Some are funny. Some are, there's not a drop of blood. Some is like seriously gory. You know what I mean? It's like all over the place. And that's the thing, is we just want to tell the story. We just want to, keep pushing that. And but yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, I really just look at it as I'm a horror artist that enjoys doing that, and everything else is okay, but this is where I feel at home. Drawing gross shit that most people go, you need therapy, or you know what I mean? Like, does something happen? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you traumatized, like, kind of. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, to a degree, but like, we use that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some fucked up shit in my life, so it's like,
Hey,
use that, right? Use it. I mean, I've seen terrible things like in front of me that it's like, how the fuck did that even just happen? How did this car just like drive right past me, hit a pole, split in half, everybody just died instantly, like that kind of thing?
yeah,
for real. And I couldn't believe it happened. I was just frozen.
And I gotta say, as a reader, I love it, man. Just the artwork, you're talking about just messed up, fucked up shit, and right off the bat, I think it was the second page. You got that full page in Provenance of Secrets #1. The murder scene. Man, I flipped that page and I took a look, and woo, it hits you like a ton of bricks, but in the best way. And you mentioned like a
that
car
was like
accident,
a
and it's
huge, that had like what's his name who did Seven, David Fincher, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was like what we kind of spoke about the most was the David Fincher influence on that particular crime scene.
Oh yeah,
Sort of scene there.
absolutely. That was 100% like that.
I think we got a. Elle, do we have the screener of that one?
Mhm.
Of that
For
the murder
Provenance?
scene,
Yeah.
Provenance of Secrets. Yeah. I think we got it here somewhere. So you guys mentioned David Finch.
Oh, Fincher, yeah. The
David
director.
Fincher, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I mean, the tone that I was going for overall had some of that, like a little bit of Seven mixed
Right
with
there, there we go.
yeah, that
Yeah.
page
There
100%
it
is
is.
like, I mean, it's like
Censored.
if it was yes with the smiley face on the PP.
Love it. Yeah.
That's
It's
what Sergio
It's
called
great.
it too. That's
it's right there, right.
and I actually had a question about that because I noticed a lot of artists will post like their reference pictures, like this seems to be a recurring image as we see later on in the Tells 2 story. And so I was like, you know what? He knows what he's doing
Yeah.
and he does it well.
Oh, I draw a lot of dead peepees. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually get
That's your
Simon-
niche.
That's my niche. I actually get Simon to send me some photo
reference
reference.
pictures,
I'm like,
yeah.
can you lay on the floor and just put your arms out and I want your make sure your penis is like just covered enough. And he's like, no,
Again?
now I'm gonna
Again.
now his wife is really gonna sue me. She's gonna be like, oh, all right, that's it. Like that's
The
it.
script actually called for him to be clothed as well. That's the thing. And then it's just like it's all kind of
gotta go for it. I mean, I literally just thought to myself, I was like, how can I make the reader really uncomfortable, right?
It definitely added a visceral layer to it.
It's uncomfortable. I mean, it is because it's like, I mean, the guy's half of his face is missing. He's got a knife in his hand. He's bleeding out. He's got this symbol carved in his body, and his PP is hanging out. It's like, I mean, you kind of look at it and you go, oh my God, what the hell? And I remember
everything's uncomfortable in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't let my my 3-year-old daughter near the desk, like when I was doing it. Every time she kept turning the corner, go back. Thank you. Thanks for coming. We'll see you later. You know what I mean? It was like, couldn't let her come over here and see this like horrible, act of what was going on in this page and this sequence. Yeah. But sometimes that's the thing. I think it's a very situational thing for me too. It's like, and I'm lucky with Kiyarn because I remember once before I pulled something like that on another book I had done years ago with horror movie director Greg McLean, who did the Wolf Creek movies and stuff, and he does a bunch of different things now too. But I did a comic with him, and there was a page where the main character jumps out of bed, and in the script it says he's like in his like like he's in his nightwear or whatever. But I thought, wouldn't it be hilarious if he jumps out and he's got nothing on at all, and he's just fucking hanging, and he's got his gun drawn, and it's a full shot too. It's a full shot, and it's just dangling there, and he's like, that absolutely cannot be in the book.
He shot that down right away.
Oh man, he was not having it. He was like, you gotta put some boxers on him or something. Like that's just no, like, absolutely not. He's like, we're going for like PG-13 type audience, and I was like, oh, okay,
man.
I mean, I thought it was funny. I was just like, oh, come on. I mean, it made it more Monty Python to me, but he wasn't into it, and that's fine. It was his thing. And that was work for hire, so I went along with it. But yeah, I mean, any chance I get, I'm going to show some guy's dead penis. So that's it. That's where it is. It's going to always be some weird placement. I think it happens in. Doesn't it happen in Technihorror issue 2?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
I did it again.
Thank you for that.
I did it again. It's like, here's another dead penis, and you're welcome, everybody.
And the
it's like,
page turns on them are perfect because you're not expecting it. So whenever it's
boom.
timing immaculate.
I think all my years in elementary school of just drawing penises on pieces of paper and just leaving them on
really
under
graduated further on it now.
Yeah, so it's like someone was trying. Oh God, what that kind of thing. And I don't know. It's like that one. I think that one actually was in the script, though. I think, right? Wasn't that one in the script?
Yes, I think
he's naked.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah.
Yeah, he's naked.
So I just remember. All I remember is when I was writing it was just trying to make that particular scene. Like the Provenance of Secrets one was planned, and I think the medieval one I kind of loosely put it out that if you wanted to, you could. If I vaguely remember you drawing it, and even I was a bit like, "Oh, okay, he's gone with that," and then he's gone, "Fair enough."
Yeah.
to be a fly in the wall in your guys' group chat. Hey Christian, just throw in random, throw in the pee-pee.
They said penis optional.
I will say this. I don't wish it on anybody to see our group chat because we would just get arrested.
No.
We would get canceled. We would get arrested. It's like some of the shit that we say is absolutely so absurd that it's like
it's all relentless, like mocking of each other. But like, it's like, I don't know. It's just there's a real word for it, but it's just relentless how much that conversation could like end everyone's careers and stuff like that. It's just being so dumb, basically.
Oh, I've said some horrible things to Simon over dumb shit with movies. Like he said something really stupid about Blade Runner 2049, and I love that movie, and I really love that movie. And he's like, "Oh, it's boring. I fucking hated it." And I'm like, "What? Oh, fucking kill you!" I'm like, I'm just threatening his life. Like, I will eviscerate you right now. I was like, "You like the Twilight movies? Fuck yourself!" Like, hey, seriously. And I just sit there like cursing him out for like another 10 minutes, and Karen just looks at the phone like, "What is happening right now? What are these two doing?"
Ruben, hide your Twilight tattoo.
Oh man,
nope.
I gotta say, Christian. With all due respect to Simon, if you're gonna throw any slander towards BR 2049's way, that's an all-timer of a movie, a classic.
I mean, well, I love the movie, and he doesn't. He hates it.
Yeah.
He hates it. He thought it was. He said it was boring and stupid. And I saw it twice in the theater. I don't usually go see a movie twice in the theater. It was like that kind of thing for me. It was like, holy shit, this was so.
Christian, you've been getting him back though, bring loads of penises for him to color in now. So
yeah, he actually, I think he's now addicted because remember it was like there was one panel where it was like hidden. He goes, "Wait, so you're not showing the full penis?" I'm like, "Oh
man,
okay."
Oh, that second, because that second panel it's like shadowed in on the bottom. Yeah.
Yep. I'm just gonna start doing extreme close-ups. I'm just
hoping for a twofer.
Yep, there's gonna be a double page spread where it's
just do a splash page.
No reason.
Just zoomed in.
Or that's a pinup content, right, in the back of the book.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd pay for it.
God, yeah.
Pay for it.
Just a big double page spread. Oh my god! What? Wait, why
the body's
did
like horizontal?
Imagine that.
Man.
So many people would be like confused and upset and more confused. A few might like it. A few might actually appreciate it. Well, that is a decent looking penis, but that's it. It won't go any further. We're not sure if we want to cancel them or call the police.
Because when it moves to size, it's scalable, so more people might buy it. Actually,
yeah. I mean, if that's what I'm known for, is
it's an activity.
That guy just, he draws some decent penises. It's like, oh well, all right, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it.
I have a feeling after this airs, you're gonna be getting some commission requests.
Oh yeah. Luckily, my commissions are closed, so I'm very happy about that. The whole year, I've turned down commissions,
Oh
and
man,
which is a rare thing too. I'm kind of surprised. It's the first time I've ever said no. I'm not taking any commissions this year because my schedule has been a nightmare. But yeah, I mean, it's I'll be honest. It's all this stuff. It's like all the stuff that we do. And yet, like, I always felt like one thing that always bugged me with a lot of horror comics, whether they were like known or not so known, is I always felt like there was over exposure towards like naked women getting killed and things like that. And it was like I remember seeing that stuff for like ages ago. When I was like before I was a teenager, I saw that in some independent comics, and I think even like Avatar comics are like more famous for just doing terrible things to like naked hot women, you know what I mean, all the time, and labeling that as horror. But I'm like, this is just stupid.
yeah.
This is my opinion, but it's just like, to me, it's just like brain dead, and I don't see. I just see it's just a simple shock thing, and for us, it's like when we put something out that like a story that has like a, like what we're talking about, we're joking about, but it's like the guy's dead and he's naked. It's like I always find a reason to have that happen, and like I said before with Providence Secrets, it was like I needed that. I wanted that shot, that whole scene, to be as uncomfortable as possible, and not just a gore thing. Like I wanted it to be like, ooh, what the
Well, I
fuck
think
happened
the
here?
unsettling part is the vulnerability of it,
Mm-hmm.
is that, especially for a man in that situation.
Right.
And so I think that's, for me, what made it even like more so than just a penis on the page, was the fact that how did he get naked? Was he found that way? Was he put that way? And then just the vulnerability of it, being at home,
Right.
and
Right.
being found like that. So
right. Did he do it to himself, or I
Mhm.
mean, have someone do this? There's a lot of things like that. I don't know. I thought it worked very, very well, and especially the way that Simon handled the colors. It was even better because it just like made it. I think it made it worse. You know what I mean? More effective. You know.
And we gotta give a shout out to Simon Go, the third member of this truly creative dream team that you guys are.
Thank you,
man. Listen, you guys work on a book together. You guys put out a book together. We're copping it. We're talking about it. We're reviewing it, man. Because you guys are gold at this point, man. So Simon Go, not able to be here with us tonight, but hey, Simon, we love you, man. You guys work. You guys keep putting out work together, gentlemen. Please. It's we want more. We're getting greedy. We're getting selfish. You guys are putting out great stuff. Want to talk on Christian, you had mentioned Kiyarn, sending over scripts and everything kind of hit. You never had any doubt. So my first exposure to you guys was Tales Told in Technihorror season 1, which came out earlier this year. I believe it was 2021, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So an anthology style horror series, and you touched on this, Christian, how each story is different. It's got a different vibe, tone than the other, and as a reader, I absolutely love that. You've got like your eco horror with the with the kind of the tree monster.
Roots of Evil. Yeah.
I think we're looking at here Roots of Evil. Yes. In Cold Pursuit, the opener, which I think was my favorite. Just what, Kira, I gotta say, what you manage with these singular stories with just a few words, a few pages each story, man, but they each felt complete and with that opener, you know, cold pursuit, you know, you're like in the depths of the ocean, and really getting that vibe of, you know, this desolation, and
I
you
think
know, just
you guys said it best when you did your review of season 1 before, when it was like you were just going. It was like they're like I can't remember who said it, but it was like they were cold opens to like a TV show, so basically like the first 5-10 minutes of a TV show before the credits roll, kind of style. And that's what it is. That's what you want, because that's the thing that kind of pulls you in and wants you to read more. But obviously, because it's an anthology series, it kind of ends like there. But for it's just fun to kind of try and mix horror with just something new and fun each time. I mean, it's like the 1000 Teeth one there. That was just like our little kind of love letter to kind of those old 70s grindhouse type horror films. And so it was like all I remember was seeing someone sent me a video on Instagram, like I think it was my brother or something. It was like, oh, look at this crazy video. It was like an airboat going through a swamp, and there was just thousands of alligators, and the boat was just going over them because it couldn't go anywhere else. I remember thinking that was just like a terrifying thing. And then I think in our group chat, sent the video to them, and then they were like, we should do a thing about alligators. And I was like, okay, I'll put it in the 70s and kind of give it that grindhouse thing. And then suddenly I'm going, I've got 5 pages, 4 or 5 pages to do it in. And then if you just, that's how it kind of, like, that's generally how the process goes. We see something or someone mentions one idea, and then we build on it together. And that's how something like that happens with us.
Yeah, and I love that whole, for season 1, that whole grindhouse feel, the design, everything. Like even like, you know, with the matinee billboards and all that. How did you guys kind of come up with that? Because it's lovely, man. It hits. It's really nice to look at. To put it,
that contents page, I made that up in Photoshop just because we had obviously a certain page now, and it was like, do you turn the cover and then do you go straight into the comics? I was thinking, no, we need some kind of content and stuff. And then I thought I made it like a matinee thing because I just wanted something a bit more unique than just your standard, like just boring text in a line. That's to me, that's a waste of a page at that point. And we already had the logo looking like that, the kind of the UV light kind of thing. So I was like, oh, we'll just keep that kind of cinema feel go basically. And it kind of really works. So I think I sent you one for season 2 as well. So it's going to be exactly the same. It's just changing the film titles essentially for each one.
Yes, I think we got it here somewhere. There we go.
So cool.
So this is season 2 coming up here, and we got let me pull that up here. We got FOC. Sorry guys. Yep, there we go. Thank you, Elle.
There it is.
FOC is coming up on the 5th of December, Sunday. I know Scout does their FOC a little bit differently. Most are done on the Monday.
Well, I think it's because it's lunar.
Lunar
cut-offs are Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we have that to look forward to. And we had, you know, the matinee billboard for season 2. So it looks like you've got five stories coming up in the next volume.
Yeah. So I think it was based on some of the past reviews of season 1. People were saying that they liked them, and some people wish they were longer. So Christian's actually just wrapping up now, which is 2 pages longer than our usual. I think it's like 6 pages in total, 7 pages maybe. I can't remember. But each of these stories for this season, I think, this one's got an extra, like, there's a couple of extra dark ones, but this one I think is a bit of like fun horror. Man. This one, look at that.
Let's let me see if can we solo. Boom, there you go, man. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Wow. Shit gets real fucked up in this one, so I think that you guys are gonna probably like it. I'm just making sure you can see it clearly.
That is awesome.
But yeah, it's not what you think. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
it's one of those. Not what you think. It's not as a how can I put this, like so straightforward looking as it may seem. So that's one of the best parts about it, is taking these concepts, taking these ideas. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love my slashers from like the 70s and 80s. But that's, for me, that's also where they sort of died. I think I wasn't a fan of the Scream 90s era slashers as much. They were all too meta. They were all too plastic, I guess.
I can see that.
I didn't really think that any of them were special. And it just didn't appeal to me, I guess. I was just like, not for me. But also, I think Ghostface is a fucking stupid design. I just never liked it. I just hate that mask. It's just so dumb.
And it became so popular, man. I think, man, it was all over the place.
It's Michael Myers.
Yeah, I was gonna say good for Wes Craven and all, but like, no, I hate it. I think I've always thought it was like Michael Myers is like, I think the reason I always thought like original Halloween like it was effective is that mask is so like shitty, but it looks so creepy, like a dead face kind of thing. So it's like when he's just standing there staring, it's like, what the fuck is going on? What is he doing? And it wasn't at nighttime too. It was like at daytime. So it was like they did all these different things with it, and it wasn't just everything's at night. And that's the kind of thing that really, I remember really getting on my nerves at Scream. It's just like everything was literally framed at night and in the same way, and it was very Scooby-Doo by the end. Yeah, because it's like once the mask came off, I was like, oh, come on, like really, this is.
And not to turn this into a movie review thing, but I recently rewatched it for like the first time since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Weirdly, I actually watched it. I watched it only like a couple of weeks ago for the first time in years. Yeah. And it was like basically a comedy, essentially. There's not any actual horror.
Right. So
it was, and some of the themes, like again, the whole, like you were saying earlier, like the violence towards women for no reason. Yeah. And I was like, so the mom was raped, and then this I was like, you could have just said none of that, and it still would have, as a movie been cohesive.
Right.
But now you're pinning it on these teenage boys. Like, it was just like, I'm like, this is wild.
Yeah.
And not in like a good way.
I think Scream really, unfortunately, pioneered what went wrong with horror in that time. Like there was when I was in high school, it was a really bad time for horror movie. I love the genre with all my heart, but I lost interest for like 10 years because it was excess nudity, rape, just all this stuff there was more nudity than there was blood and slashing. Like, I don't mean to trash on anybody, but I'm a big Halloween fan, like Michael Myers. But the Rob Zombie movies, I just cannot get behind.
No.
With respect, but for that very reason. Like the
I've
first
always
one,
hated them.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. Like every chick in that first one ended up being naked, except for the main one for no reason at all.
Yeah, no.
But I gotta say that I think horror is the most unique genre for anthology. I think it works just splendidly. I mean, I might be biased because I'm a big horror fan, and I'm just like kid in a candy store with all these different tales that are blowing my mind in just 4 pages. And so I think it's such a very unique art because you end it and you're thirsty, starving for more of that particular story.
That's awesome.
But there's a part of you wants more. But also that part, like the fact that there is no more, it kind of it gives you more of a chilling experience.
Right.
Like we will never know
that's what you're saying about like horror. It's just that horror is one of those genres that's you can literally cross it with so many other genres. It's like ridiculous. You can make it like any other genre, put horror into it, and it's kind of you've got a unique thing there. But also it's that kind of it's the one that even the people who do like splatter and like full blown, just like kind of torture stuff. This at the end of the day, they're still always trying to almost make it like fun. Essentially, it's still something that you kind of can grin at and be like, it doesn't actually deep down doesn't actually upset you, kind of thing. And that's what I think with Technihorror, kind of what we're like going for is that we're pushing all our own horror buttons and going, yeah, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to mix it with this and I want to do that. But at the end of the day, it's still got to be a fun thing to look at, basically.
Yeah, it's just so fun. I grew up with Goosebumps and Tales from the Crypt, and so those are just always so much fun for me. And I have to say, Kiyarn, I don't know if you're familiar, but I read Technihorror, and it reminded me so much of one of my favorite artists. Are you familiar with Junji Ito?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I've literally got one of his books.
Fantastic horror creator, and I love it. Yes, I love it. I haven't watched all the. Oh wow, you guys are great. Okay, so I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Like there's a little bit of that in here, and so I was feeling that in full force. Specifically, where the woman in the bathtub mutates. That's when it occurred to me, like I'm getting some Junji Ito vibes here.
Yeah.
In a resoundingly big
that story. That Roots of Evil story. That was a strange one. We did that almost in like the old school Marvel way, where Christian actually drew the pages without telling me what the story was. Gave me those pages with no dialogue, and then I lettered it.
That's amazing.
I think I did like 3 different versions of it. And there was like one where the couple in the living room were like cheating on the girl in the bathroom or something, and then there was one where they were just roommates, and like there was like 3 different versions of the story, and I lettered them all, sent them to Christian, and went, pick the one you like, and then we'll run with that one basically. But I had no idea what it was.
Man, that sounds like a lot of fun, and I've never heard of kind of a creative process in that way. Was it more common back in the day, or
a lot of Marvel used to do it
okay.
Jack Kirby used to like literally just do a load of pages, and then Stan Lee would write over that. It wasn't a common thing, but it was done fairly often. Basically, that's why a lot of people feel like Kirby deserves a lot more credit, because technically he was writing and doing the art, and then Stan was just fitting words in to panels.
Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. Sorry, Ruben, I didn't mean to cut you off. You were talking about the influences that you kind of
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just, it's good to know that I'm not crazy. Like, I'm glad you guys are a fan of Junji Ito. He's fantastic. And
amazing.
I'll say what I was saying earlier about these little stories that are just creeping you out, given these big experience with horror in like 4 pages. It's got a open-ended, like an ending, but not really an ending, and we're not going to get an ending.
Yeah.
My favorite story from
it's
season
like those like Twilight Zone twists.
Yes, exactly. Season 1, Imposter Syndrome, was amazing. Like, if I could have asked for more, like a story to expand, like more of it, it would have been that one. So creepy. I love the space element, but it's okay that it ended the way it did, because it chilled me. Like just seeing that being walking towards the other scientists, astronauts, man, it's something. Love that story.
That one is definitely one that, for me visually, that one was definitely more experimental. My approach to it, the way I handled it, because when I read the script in my head, I saw it not looking like a conventional sci-fi looking type of thing. I wanted it to look just a little weirder. I didn't want to show too many features on the spaceman's face. I added glares, just certain things. I just didn't want him to be like as like so much the focus. because by the time you see when those bug things start to form and mimic him, it was kind of like this. I think in my head I was thinking about trying to make it detach from, like, I don't want you to be attached to this guy in any way. I want you to just kind of take this moment, see what he's doing, see what this thing is doing, and then when it comes together, it's like, what the fuck was, like that kind of thing. Like, I want it to be a head scratcher. I want it to be weird looking. I wanted certain elements of like the environment to be weird and not so familiar.
And Simon's colors was not the palette I was expecting, and it went
Not
and
at
that
all.
took it a whole next level up.
Yeah, it did. That was, in my opinion, that was what really made it, because it's a very different piece, very different, and his colors made it so unique that I was like, not in a million years did I ever think you were going to use hot pinks and these kind of oranges and stuff.
And the placement in the anthology being second to like the darkest imagery you could get, like the abyss. So for that to be the second, it was like visually like jarring to go from that to the colors and imposter.
We would try, like, putting the order of the stories was a weird one, because it's like you have to do that. Essentially, you have to figure out what is not like jarring, but like not too jarring, and also like what's the theme and things. And then also, I think not all of them had the same page count, and you always want your jump scares or your big reveals. You want them to be on the left hand side, so you turn to them, because if you have it on the right hand side and you turn, and your eye already sees it, so you have to kind of take into account
I think that's something you guys have, and Sergio will attest to it, is the page turning. It's fantastic in your guys' stories.
I love it. And then Kiyarn, I'm so glad you brought that up, because we've talked about it actually a couple times recently here. I feel like that's got to be like storytelling 101, I can't. How many times the jump scare or the reveal, however you want to put it,
in front
is
of
on
you
the right side, and your eye goes, and it's just it's spoiled in a sense, right? Versus if it's on the left page, you're turning them, boom, you're hit with it, right? I mean, and you guys nailed that every story, every time you've implemented that technique. I mean, I feel like it should be taught.
It's not an easy thing to do, because you kind of have to go. As I was writing it, you have to know when the jump's going to turn up. So then you don't want to milk it too long to try and get your page count up. And it's a real kind of fine art of like trying to edit to make it seem like it's a natural flow, so that your jump scare lands on the left hand side, basically. But once you get it down, it's like, if it works, it like really works. And if you, it's just about, it's also about the build up as well, because you don't want to know the jump scare on that side, because you're going to feel like you've still got to try and take people by surprise without building up too much. It's like a jump scare in the cinema when the music builds up, the music builds up, the music builds up, and the music suddenly stops, and you've got dead silence. Then there's the jump scare kind of thing. It's like, it's going to come eventually, basically.
Which in Cold Pursuit, I knew what was gonna happen, but still going to, like, I knew it. Like, I was like, but it was such a cool reveal visually that I was like, oh
man, that's great. It's great. Just the synergy that you guys have as storytellers, man, with the art and the writing. I honestly, man, it's really, I don't know how you guys have done it, but you guys are just with season 1 of Tales Told, every single one was just a banger. It hit so satisfying. And then you're talking about the build up in the build up.
Wait, one quick question before we move on from Tales 1. You guys had one of my favorite covers, a store exclusive, Shintaro Kago cover.
Oh, yeah.
Were there plans for Tales 2? No, don't know.
No, I didn't even know he was doing one. That
It
was
was her
crazy.
number one. He did the. Hold on, let me see if we can pull it up.
Yeah, I know the one she's
Yeah,
talking about.
Oh, okay.
when I got my box of comps turned up, it was just a load of his. And I was just
I
like,
had
oh,
no
okay.
idea.
Did not know he was doing one. That was like, I absolutely love his work.
Yeah,
And then it was just like, oh, wow, he's just like, it was just as much as a surprise to everyone else as it was to us as well.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had no idea. And we found out like when we got our copies, and it was like, wait, what? Like, and I went and looked at his Instagram, and he didn't even know what it was. I don't think. He's like
Yeah.
a horror comic cover.
Yeah,
and
he
I was
said
like,
American horror
Yeah.
comic.
I was like,
Just
You know.
parentheses, American horror comic.
An
You know.
American horror comic. Wow.
you know, with a little middle finger emoji. You know, just you know what I mean. No, I'm kidding. I mean, he's an incredible artist. And like
Yeah.
his stuff is just so like it's like so out there. I love it, but it's so funny because I was like, wait, what? I thought it was a mistake at first. I was like, is this ours?
Oh, I thought maybe you guys would have had to like clear it as the creators. You guys.
That's funny. Wow.
Like a team meeting.
No, not really. I think in the beginning, we could have had like something crazy, like 20 variants,
Mm-hmm.
and we like kept saying no, like they were showing like the rough, and I was like, no, we all were just like, no, we would turn it down, you know. And I did see recently there's another book that did something like that, and I don't know. I feel like that's just you're taken away from, you know, you're also screwing yourself over. I think it's like it's just too many variants.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
insane.
I think
It's crazy.
I could think of 2 titles in specific.
I think we're all probably thinking the
Out of
same
control.
book in mind. Yeah.
They need to
25
chill.
variants
Too much.
for one issue.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
And it goes for like now we know why there's a paper shortage. You know, it's
Mhm.
like look at all these variants. It's
Yes.
like ridiculous.
We're not
But-
printing any more second runs, but also here's 100 covers for the first
And it's a
one.
1 in 50 or a 1 in
Yeah.
100. And
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can't get them.
some variants are okay though. Like, I mean, you know, we got the lovely. Oh man, I dig it. I love. Hey, Ruben, I'm super jealous. You got that beautiful. That's the 1 in 10, right, Ruben? The one that you've got.
Nice.
You guys have some fantastic covers.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then Provenance of Secrets came out very recently,
Mm-hmm.
and we're lucky enough. We're getting a issue number 2 shortly. Correct?
Depending
I
on
mean,
the
early-
delays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many delays. Because like we tried to split up the release schedule that Technihorror was every 6 months and Providence of Secrets was every quarter. And then with the paper shortage, we don't know. So I hope, like, I mean, we're aiming to do it as quick, like as soon as possible. But obviously, we've got those 2 comics running along at the same time, and Christian's got another project as well. So we'll get it as soon as we can, and it should hopefully be on time. But we'll have to see because everything with the paper shortage is just up in the air at the moment. That's the annoying thing.
Yeah, we're
It's a bummer.
we're hoping for the best with everything, but yeah, because like even I mean, there's a number of factors to come into play. Like it's the holidays, and you know, there's all delays on you know when you're doing stuff, and then there's delays after. I think there was even a delay with the first Province of Secrets release because it was like, but I mean, I'm more than one. I think it was like 2 delays. It was like it got delayed twice because it was like supposed to go to the printer and it didn't, and then we got the final like date when it was supposed to ship, and I was like, okay, that's like a little over a month, and then a further delay like by 2 more weeks when it finally hit the stores. So I don't know. I just work here. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say anymore. It's like the weirdest thing with this, like how everything is going, and you know we're this close to heading into Fury Road. You know, it's like I feel like everything is like, you know what I mean? Like it's like paper shortage. This is happening. That's happening. A new COVID variant. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, like.
we've got our fingers crossed, hoping that there's not too many delays, if any, for Providence of Secrets number
Yeah.
2, issue number 1. Bloody fantastic, man.
Yeah. We're basically aiming to get Providence of Secrets on the time, but I think Technihorror, we've only got one more short to add to it to finish off for that one.
That's
so
right.
I think that one's obviously that one will be out in January. But yeah,
Awesome.
Providence of Secrets, I've got a feeling it might get pushed a little, but we'll see as the time goes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in any case, we got FOC for Providence of Secrets number 2 coming up December the 12th, guys. So everybody watching, please make sure you get those advance orders in. It helps out big time. And then, as we said earlier, season 2, the FOC is the 5th of December. So 2 big books that everybody's gotta make sure that they pre-order and get those bad boys in, man. You guys, for those who haven't read it, you guys are gonna love it, man. Is great stuff, and we've already confirmed more penises in issue number 2.
Yeah,
get ready.
Christian, you and Simon are doing Rad Wraith too, right?
That's right. I feel really bad for forgetting that.
Wow, yes.
Okay, so just real quick, that is with my friend Tristan. He owns a comic shop, an excellent comic shop in Portland, Maine. He is the writer and creator of that. I'm also a co-creator on that, and that one is our love letter to B-movie horror, like trashy, shitty. I mean, it's intentionally written and drawn kind of that way, but with just a little more heart to it, because first issue we did as a Kickstarter, like 2018, I think, and then 2019 we did the second issue Kickstarter, and he wanted to do another one, I think, last year, and I was like, no, let's not do that, because I saw everybody was pushing Kickstarters. I was like, we'll get lost. We won't even make the goal. It will be pointless. So I told him to hold on and we'll regroup. And we did. And, again, Black Caravan picked it up. First 2 issues have been done. I have to finish 3 and 4 is the last. And of the arc is more planned for the future. But if you like skateboarding, trashy horror, just really sick, kind of gross out humor, I think it's for you. If not, I don't know. It's it kind of shocks me when I've had copies out on the table when I was doing shows before everything got locked down. Little kids would come over and open it up, like sneak over and open up and look at it, and it was like they would go run off, tell their other friends that were like 8 years old, like, go look at the, and they would, and it was so funny, because all I thought about is I was around that age when I was watching these kind of movies, or really young, and they're doing exactly the same thing with the comic that I'm basing that stuff off of. It's weird, Yeah. And then I got arrested. No, I'm kidding. But
they're gonna grow up and they're gonna draw penises all over their artwork.
That's the key to it. Just dead bodies. Hit it big, But no, it's that book doesn't have any. It's funny enough. You think it would, but it doesn't. Instead, it has like extreme gore parts, and it's that comes out in, I think that comes out in February.
I think.
Right.
Yeah. FOC is January, I think.
That comes out like, I think right before the Top Cow book, the one-shot Colossus. So
busy man. Like, Jesus.
A little too much.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Colossus sounds super cool.
February 16th or something, I think it says February
16th. I need a vacation, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's like there's a lot. There's definitely a lot coming out. But next year, I think the plan is Karen and I were talking about how we're going to shift Technihorror from going from short stories to like this example is Tales from the Crypt TV series to Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. So it's like instead you get like a one shot of like a specific story. It could be anything. Could be maybe it's imposter syndrome. Maybe it could be anything. It could be new. Anything like that. Could expand it, make it bigger. You know, just kind of like really dive in and you know explore more of that world, or you know whatever. And I feel like that would be really cool to do that. Do a couple of those and then collect everything into one big book. And yeah, so hopefully we'll see how that all goes next year. We're still working on it. We're still trying to figure out some things. So hopefully we won't have any of these crazy delays and whatever. But yeah, that'll be next year. We'll figure that out. But yeah, there's a lot we're doing right now. We still have plans for other stuff for the Providence series. You know, just tease, I guess, a little bit. We've discussed doing Poe. We've discussed doing the one I'm most excited about. The one I'm most excited about is possibly diving into War of the Worlds, because that has always been a favorite of mine since I was a kid, and the way I envision it is completely different from the movie, from the remake that Spielberg did, because I hate that one, and whatever other crap. I actually just I always saw that when I read that book when I was young. I always saw it very almost kind of like a gothic horror looking like story, and it didn't feel like a big sci-fi thing. It felt more like everything's coming down to the ground, and it's no one knows how to treat this. Is it a disease? Is it, what is this? You know, type of thing. And that would be fun to explore.
Because Provenance of Madness was Lovecraft, right?
Robert Chambers.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got so Provenance of Madness is Lovecraft. Provenance of Secrets is Chambers.
Right.
The one I've just kind of half finished writing it is the Edgar Allan Poe one, and that's Provenance of Fear. I think I put it down as at the moment as a working title.
That's amazing. I'm a big Poe fan. I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, with that one, the rough theme of it is it's going to be based around how like Robert Chambers, King in Yellow, and we put it in the 50s LA. I think the rough idea at the moment is it's going to be sort of 80s and all about like Red Death and plague and stuff, especially with all the COVID stuff we've gone through right now. So yeah, that's what I'm plotting out at the moment basically, but I've got a few more unique ideas for it.
Wow, that sounds incredible. So definitely you guys got a lot of stuff cooking now, man. We as fans and readers got plenty to look forward to. I think I did want to touch on the stories coming up in season 2 of Technihorror. I saw, one looks like one is set a royal summon set in the Dark Ages.
Yep.
And you've got the good, the dead.
So if you bring up the contents page, I can give you a synopsis of each of what you've got in season 2. So yes, royal summon was Christian's love of like exorcism, but I didn't want to do just a standard exorcism. So I was like, I want to do an exorcism in a time period where you don't usually see it. So it's like an exorcism medieval type story.
Yep.
The suspension's like a Wild West kind of undead type story. That's actually the shortest out of all the stories we've done. It's only about 3 pages, I think, and a cover as well. Screen backwards is like a nod to slashers. Like that was the one that Christian was showing some of the artwork to earlier. That's like a nod to old school slashers. Slay Thy Neighbor is a kind of tongue-in-cheek, quite fun, and I don't know. It's almost like a Archie comics horror type
really,
deal.
Like the Burbs a little bit.
Which the Burbs is a classic, man.
Love that. Best film ever made.
Yeah, I love that movie. Always love that movie.
That's awesome.
Such a great movie.
And, the last one, Drawn In, that's my personal favorite. It's a meta horror comic about an artist doing horror comics, basically.
Okay.
So that one, yeah.
Five, 5 more stories to look forward to in season 2, and that'll be coming early first quarter of 2022. And I think we got a few. Do we have a few pages of the interiors? There's the
I think I gave you a couple of what we've got.
Yeah. And this one here, that's the possession story. Yeah. Yep. The Dark Ages. Yeah. And then I think we've got the Western. I'm not sure if we have that. Do we have that one out?
We had it. Now it's not pulling
the
up.
good, the bad. Oh, it's okay. But so that one is like a Western set.
It's a weird. It's a Western, but it's like I set it out in a way. It's like it's just a monologue. It's quite a Shakespearean type thing almost, but it's set in the Wild West. Basically, it's a strange one. It's set out almost like a play, just for a few pages. It's an odd one, but I really like it. It's really moody, that one.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Again, a very experimental one too for me. I just decided to not pencil so much and just do more straight ink. Keep it very chicken scratch, very like scratchy looking, because I wanted the tone of it to feel that sort of grit, like that old film, Sergio Leone kind of film, but just a little different, just very, something's definitely off, but you find out.
That we're gonna find out soon enough, and definitely it sounds again more lots of variety in terms of the styles of the stories, much like season 1. Man, I'm hype. So I'm hoping we'll get a crack at that advanced preview before it comes out. And man, and then Christian, you got Colossus coming out. Oh, I think we touched on that. Colossus coming out in February.
Yeah.
Kiyarn, any other works that you've got? Maybe other projects coming up?
I've got a couple of other things in the works, but they're like things that I've been working on for a while. But weirdly, just as busy as Christian is Simon. He's coloring everything in the world at the moment, and he's also coloring some of this stuff. So yeah, nothing I can sort of really speak about yet. But then the moment I can, don't worry, you guys will be like top of the list to get first look at it and to talk about it.
We dig it. And you and Simon, you guys are actually from, I think you were telling me you were from the same town?
Yeah, a friend of mine used to run a skate shop just down the road from me, and Simon worked in the shoe shop opposite, and we literally just got to know each other through that. It was just a very odd coincidence that what he does is what I needed for something for comics, and he just did it. He did it and does it very well.
All right, that's cool. So you're gonna have to give him a ring for us on our behalf and let him know how much.
Yeah.
We're digging his stuff, man.
Guys, he's good.
You guys are incredible, man.
Oh.
Ruben, was there anything else that you guys wanted to touch on with Christian and Kiyarn?
Nope, I covered what I wanted to.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, thanks for coming. We're rooting for you guys. I'll tell you what.
Thank you.
Providence of Secrets was the first book, the comic book that my buddy picked up ever because he saw our video and he got hyped for it. And so I like looked up the comic shop in his town, like, hey, they have it, go pick it up.
Oh, nice.
And so yeah, they gave him this cover, which is super cool. And
Nice.
he enjoyed it, and he's looking forward to the rest of the series. It was just cool seeing the experience. Like, dude, like,
Nice.
and the ending, they didn't tell us anything. I'm like, yeah, because you got to keep reading. Next issue two. Like, there's 2 more issues, man. It's not a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really excited for everything coming out. It's
That's awesome.
No,
Spooky season all around here.
Oh yeah, same for me. I mean, I'm literally always watching a horror movie while I'm working or I'm not. It's like, I don't know. It's always the same. That's why when people ask me what I'm doing for Halloween, I'm like, watching an action movie, I guess. I don't know.
Living my life.
You gotta switch it up.
Like I think I watched Dune on Halloween or something. Like I didn't watch any horror movies because it was like, that's nice that you have that one day. That's, you know, but like I do it all the time, so it's like, it's cool. My kids like it.
Yeah,
it's fine, but I think that's like the one day that I don't like focus on it. I think it's like opposite day. It's like, no, I don't watch comedy.
What is your favorite horror film all time? You gotta hit me with one.
Oh, me? Oh, it's easy. My favorite movie, it's not just horror, but it's my favorite movie of all time is The Exorcist. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I think kind of has, the third one is kind of close, only because it's the writer of the original novel and screenplay he wrote and directed the third one, which was a direct continuation of certain events from the first one 15 years later, but a completely different type of movie. So I love it for different reasons, but first one, absolutely my favorite movie of all time.
It's a good one. That film, it messed me up as a kid.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, it messed me up, man.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
I mean, I've seen it so many times, and I remember going to see the director's cut when the director's cut came out in theaters, and I was not ready. I thought, I've seen this movie so many times, and it's just way more effective in the theater because it's like you feel like there's nowhere to turn. Like everything's dark, so you're just, Pazuzu's face shows up. You're like, you're frozen.
Did you like the show? Did you watch the show when it was on?
No, I didn't. I watched half an episode, and I was like, I just couldn't. It just couldn't. It wasn't working. And some things I think you can do that with, like you can do a TV show. I don't dismiss all of it, but with The Exorcist, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like people need to just leave it alone, because you saw those prequel movies, right? Remember they did those prequel movies? They did two versions of the same movie, and both of them sucked. They were just terrible movies. Same thing. I just leave it alone,
Christian, sorry. I was going to say, I really like what you said earlier about the alien genre. How there's a misconception about how people just automatically make it sci-fi.
Yeah.
And the movie that messed me up as a kid, nobody would probably guess this, was M. Night Shyamalan's Signs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Destroyed me.
Oh, you still leave water out, huh? You're hoping one day.
Yes. That scene in Mexico messed me up. And I think that's Alien done right, or Aliens. Like, it's not just sci-fi flying saucers. I think there's so much to explore there, especially in the horror gothic genre. So definitely on point.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I saw it years ago when it came out in theaters, and I remember it being pretty effective. I think there was only a couple things that frustrated me about it. I think one of them was at the end with the water thing, because I was like, wait, they came to a planet that's like 90% the water.
Yeah.
What? Like, and it was like,
but her water cup is gonna.
I don't know, that part was the only thing that pissed me off. And also keep in mind that I'm old, so by then I was already like in my, like, I don't know, I was in my 20s somewhere, and I was already grumpy, so it was just one of those things. And I was like, wait, what? Like, I remember just scratching my head, like, that's so weird. But Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of effective. I think the knife under the door is. I think, and then
the fingers getting chopped off.
Yeah.
that was good. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
I liked it. You know,
For
it
sure.
was probably the last thing Mel Gibson did before he like permanently canceled himself. I don't know. He's a
Yeah.
I mean, permanently is a hard word because apparently he's doing all these.
I know. I'm laughing.
He's
I'm
directing.
I'm laughing about the announcement, the kind of announcement that he's directing Lethal Weapon 5 because
Yeah.
I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I'm like, they already did that. Why do we need it? Like, I'll just watch that version. I mean, it's a very messed up version of what you could do with it, of course, but I'd rather just watch that. I think. I don't know. It's nothing surprises me anymore. Maybe he's an alien. I don't know. I don't know.
That was the alien talking.
Yeah,
on the phone.
Oh my god. Kiyarn, do you have a favorite horror film? That just
it's a I think it's a toss up between either The Thing or Jacob's Ladder. One of those two.
Love both of those so much. My God.
Yeah.
Those movies are so fucking amazing. Especially
Jacob's
Ladder.
The Thing's just like really fun and over the top and then super dark, and then Jacob's Ladder is just like harrowing to watch, basically.
Yeah, it's so bleak. I mean, I wasn't ready for it. When I saw it in the theater, I was like a teenager and I wasn't ready for that. And I had like it definitely messed me up for like at least a week or two. I couldn't sleep right. It was just the imagery was I'd never seen anything like that. It was so visceral and pure nightmare.
Yeah.
And then it also
every like of those visions or whatever he has in that film is just like genuinely disturbing. And then they did the remake last year or the year before, and it was hands down probably the worst film I've ever seen, basically. So bad.
Yeah, no, I won't ever watch it, but it looked terrible from the trailer. The original though, if you've never seen it, highly recommend that movie because that movie still messes me up when I watch it. It's still like one of those movies that's like, holy shit, this is just like it just doesn't get dated. You know what I mean? It's such an incredible work of art and the way it depicts everything. And it's also the big influence for the video game series Silent Hill. That's where they got their art direction. That's where got all the stuff you ever seen in those video games was lifted from Jacob's Ladder. Jacob's Ladder is the original Silent Hill, even down to the story. It's really similar.
Silent Hill.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest. I've never watched Jacob's Ladder. I've heard of it. But
watch it definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll mess you up.
Okay. Is that one of those alone at night, all the lights off type deal? Just throw it on and
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. No
watch party.
No escape. No nobody. Like no people allowed over.
Okay.
Shut off the lights.
All
lock
right.
the doors. Just watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna try to get to it tonight, and I'll share my thoughts with you guys, and or maybe if I can't fall asleep, Kiyarn, I'll just message you throughout the night if I have difficulties.
Live tweet him.
Oh man. Okay.
Why did you make me watch this?
Exactly.
You're canceled.
Oh man. Hey, Kiyarn Christian, man, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here on the House of Nerds show.
I thank you.
Kiyarn, it's got to be like what? You're approaching 3:00 in the morning over in the UK.
It is 3:00. Yeah.
Oh, geez, look at that. You're a trooper.
My laptop is warning me that it's going to shut down because I didn't have it plugged in.
Well, there you go.
I'm riding on like seconds.
perfect time to wrap this up with you guys. Thank you so much. Glad to finally have you guys on. Hopefully, it's not the last time. We want to get you guys on.
Yeah.
Love to come back.
And man,
we could have a blast just talking about horror media.
I would love to anytime.
Do some different. Yeah, for sure, for sure. We're looking forward to checking out Tales Told in Technihorror Season 2 and Providence of Secret 2. Guys, keep your eyes peeled. Get those FOC orders in. Yes, pre-orders, super important nowadays, especially with all, the with delays and, no more second printings and all that crazy stuff. Get those ordering, guys. You guys are going to love these books. Christian, Kiyarn, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been, a special edition of the House of Nerds show, and we're going to be sure to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this video once we upload bad boy. Lots of people talking this one, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. All right, guys.